Hey there, my fellow YouTubers. It is Cassandra72, and I'm coming to you with another video. First want to welcome everyone to the video and any new subscribers to the channel. This video is another update of my weight loss journey with Mounjaro and Zepbound. I did start off on Zepbound with the 2.5, and I am now currently on the Mounjaro 5.0 injection. And I want to give you, just like I said, a little update about where I am in this process. And I'm here at work on my one day into the office. This is where I think I'll be filming the videos, which makes it a little bit weird because these are on Tuesdays and I actually do my shot on Thursdays. So I'm giving you an update, which appears to be either a couple days early or about 4 to 5 days late, considering, how you really look at it. So there is that. And I meant to kind of do this video as soon as I got in here to the office, but of course I did get to working and then got caught up. I'm a person that kind of needs a noise, some white noise or whatever in the background as I'm working, but also, it's kind of catch up on some shows that I'm listening to while I'm working, and I kind of got caught up in a show as well, and then time basically just got away from me. But it was kind of a good thing because I was able to actually end up now putting in yet another thing that I wanted to update. So that all worked out, that I was able to it all worked out that I didn't, I guess, start filming the video like immediately once I got to work. I guess I'll start out with my weight this morning. I did weigh in at 344.2, which puts me at 17.4 pounds lost since I started on May 17th. So that would have been 8 weeks and 4 days ago. So I'm averaging at about 2 pounds a week lost. So while I'm not a super responder or a hyper responder, I don't necessarily consider myself such a slow responder anymore as I might have it originally thought, because I'm averaging at the higher end of the 0.5 to the 2 pounds a week. So that is amazing. And also, this would actually be, as I said, I take my injections on Thursdays. So today is Tuesday, July the 16th, and I will take my next shot on the 18th. So my last shot was on the 11th, which should have been my 9th shot. However, it's technically only my 8th, since my first pen I did, and that's another thing, the fact that I only have 8 weeks worth of injections in me, and I'll always be that week off because of the pen that I messed up, the very first pen. So I'm into my 9th week, but I've only had 8 shots. Is that right? 8 shots, yeah. Because I've had the 3 at the 2.5 box, and then I renewed, got another 2.5, so that would have been 7. And now I have taken my first 5 milligram shot. So yeah. So I'll be coming up on my 9th shot on the 18th, but will technically go through my 10th week. So anyway, yeah. Confusing much? But yeah, so anyway, I guess going forward, I won't really, harp on that too much, but just always remember I'm technically 1 shot off. So hopefully the weight loss at some point will, I think it's basically catching up, and it's going to probably supersede the fact that a shot was ever missed. So it is what it is. The shots have been in my system since May 17th, even though I technically missed a shot, that very first time. So I think that is absolutely freaking amazing. And so, like I said, I'm down 17.4 pounds from my start weight on the program, and roughly 37 pounds, I believe it is, down from my highest weight that I reached back in 2001 during the pandemic. So, absolutely freaking amazing. I think I'm considering, the scale victories, but then I also started putting on some clothes yesterday and the day before that's still, yeah, still tight. Can't really get into it, but can get into it, because I know that I was smaller when I last wore those things, but to be able to even get them on and see that light at the end of the tunnel was freaking amazing. So super proud of me, super proud of me. It's clearly still fat, still a big girl, but I'm feeling pretty good about myself. I'm like, you know what? I told my daughter, I said, it'll be probably at the end of the summer, but I'm about to be able to break out some of my cute summer clothing that I have, been holding on to. But first of all, didn't really go anywhere, haven't really gone anywhere since the pandemic started. Like I said, I've been working from home. We did that exclusively for like a year. And then, even though I have been coming into the office now going on the third year, it's still only a 1 day a week thing. So I don't really go out much and do much, which was which was, like I said, it stemmed from the pandemic. I'm like, I'm not going out there amongst the people catching God knows what. So, like, because people here, they just not know how to distance. And I'm an introvert to my heart, and I just need my space on a normal basis. And then you're supposed to stay your 6 feet, and you weren't doing that. Like, it aggravated me to no end. So that is why delivery services, Instacart, all of that was like my best friend. So now it's like, go to the grocery store. That's ghetto. That's ghetto. But I really need to get out there now so I can kind of see, especially now that I'm on this program or this path, so I can make better choices. I mean, I made the choices from things that I've been ordering like all along that may or may not be the best thing for me, even though I am, eating smaller portions of that. So, yeah. But about the 5.0 shot, which I did take in my left thigh, I really need to start documenting. I guess I know where I've taken the shots, but I can't really speak to, well, definitely no real side effects on any of them. But I, since I truly haven't really started documenting anything, I can't really say what performs better than the other or anything like that, but I did say, to myself that I was going to start doing that. I basically had stayed between the thighs and the stomach, though I did take my last 2.5 in my left arm just to say that, I have basically taken a shot for each level that I titrate up to. I want to say that I've tried in at least each of the places: the thigh, the stomach, and the arm. And so I did do that. Now, I don't know whether or not it seemed like some of the food noise might have come back a little bit, but I don't know if that was truly because it really did, or if it was because I heard that some people say it wasn't as good of a place for them. In any event, I mean, I still lost. And then with this 5, I want to say, again, no real side effects. I might have been a little, tired that day, but I like to take my naps anyway, so that's kind of hard to gauge anyway, being at home most of the time. So that's, I can't really speak to that so much. But yeah, I mean, not a overly, overly tired feeling. Just, I guess you're normal. So I can't say that that was the drug. But that would have been that, that first day. And so I could have just been sleepy anyway. So it hasn't left me drained for multiple days on end. So, yeah, there's that. But other than that, no side effects, and the weight is still, like I said, slowly moving. So there we have that. So trying to remember what else I wanted to talk about before I move to my experience with this refill on the 5.0 that I was looking for. There probably is, but right now I cannot remember what that was. I really do need to come up with a script, I think, for my talking points. And I do remember. So I'll talk about that at the end. I wanted to, I guess, talk about my progress per se as it relates to my Renfo scale. But I'll put that'll be my next point. So what I want to talk about is the experience with trying to get my next refill of the 5.0, which is the current dose that I am on, which is not supposed to be in shortage. Again, I'm with Weight Watchers Sequence. So on the 11th, I believe it was, when I took my last shot, I went ahead and I requested a refill for the 5.0. Now, granted, that was the first 5.0 shot, but if you remember in my last video where I talked about how you're kind of able to stagger with the Weight Watcher sequence, where I can request a refill 2 weeks after I have gotten the previous refill, and then with the insurance, I can get my prescription fill on the insurance 3 weeks after the last time it was refilled and that kind of thing. So just the way that it worked out with me, it basically worked even more to my advantage when I moved from the 2.5 to the 5, because I ended up doing a refill of the 2.5, and then when I requested the refill from the clinician at Weight Watchers, I moved to the 5, and based upon how the insurance works, since they looked at like the 5 was a different medication in a sense, so I didn't have to wait that 3 weeks. I was able to get that 2 weeks later. Don't know if that's what should have happened, but that's what did. So yeah, they even left me with even more, I guess, of a cushion with the medication. So anyway, but I went ahead and put in the requests with the provider on the 11th, thinking that definitely they probably weren't going to get to me and request it until the 12th. And I think that's what they did. And then they sent it on to CVS, which then CVS tells me they have the prescription, but they said they couldn't fill it until the 18th based upon my insurance. And so I placed a call to them. I left a message. I didn't know how soon they would respond, but if I would get a call back or what have you. But they must have just listened to the recording and then made their decision. And so what happened is I called and I let them know. I said my insurance will actually fill it on the 15th. That is the next date that they will cover it. And being that it takes 2 days to get into, for you all to order it, and it takes 2 days for it to get there, then the very latest you should probably order it is the 13th, so it will get there on the 15th. Even though my previous experience with them was ordering on a Friday and it coming Monday. My previous experience with them was ordering on a Friday and it coming Monday. But I don't know if that's every week type of thing. If it's just kind of extended over the weekend, or if it was just that one instance. So in any event, they went ahead, and then I got the message. After I left that message for them, then I got the text message that said we placed an order for your Mounjaro. Go to the CVS app, but it says it's back ordered. And I want to get this verbiage correct. So I'm going to go into my app now and tell you exactly what they said. And so it's just very weird to me that would be what I get, but because I said the order is even still in here. Yeah. Okay. So it said delayed, which I'm used to it saying delayed, because when they have to order it, it says it's delayed. We don't keep it in stock. It will be here within, it's been ordered. It'll be here in a couple days. But no, it says delayed. Your medication may not be available for some time. We can tell you when it's available, or you may be able to pick it up at a different store. And so that is when I went back to Weight Watchers Sequence and reached out to the care team, the care coordinator, and said, hey, they're saying it's on back order and they don't know when I'm going to be able to get it. I need to shop around and find out where I can get it. And the care team, they were immediate in their response, and I was told that they wanted to know if I had any restrictions, and of course I let them know who my insurance was, and that there weren't any restrictions that I knew of. I mean, of course you have to be in network, I think, to get the best price, but other than that, there weren't any restrictions. And so she asked if, well, she said that she knew that Amazon had stock of the medication and if that would be an option for me. Yeah, so it's very interesting. I like I said, I didn't know there was shortages on the 5. I knew that the 5 milligrams of the Zepbound and the Mounjaro, they've been saying that the 2.5, the 5, 7.5, and the 12.5 were available. It was just supposedly the 10 and the 15 that were in that were having the shortages. But in any event, so she said that they would initiate a stock search, but she did have word from Amazon Pharmacy that they had supply of the Mounjaro 5 milligram in the North Carolina area. So, and this is news for other people. Now, I am an Amazon Prime member, but they said for the Amazon Pharmacy, you don't have to be a Prime member, and the medication can be delivered to your home address. And they would help me set up an account if I was interested. But like I said, I was already a Prime member, and for whatever reason, just even though I picked up my medications from CVS, I had actually signed up for the Amazon Pharmacy and put in my insurance card and all that, you know, previously. So I guess they say hindsight is 2020. I guess my foresight was on 10. So I had already done all that. So yeah, so they transferred it to the Amazon Pharmacy, and that was on Friday. Yeah, so as soon as CVS reached out to me and said, "Hey, it's on back order," I'm like, "Hey, let's get moving." So we was able to get that order put in. I think at like 1:20 on Friday. Now, herein was where I thought we're gonna have some problems with Amazon, because they they sent the prescription over, and actually it was at 1:33, and they said then it had to be reviewed by the pharmacist to make sure that it wasn't going to cause any drug interactions or things like that or whatever. And I'm like, I'm not even on any other medications with Amazon Pharmacy, so I'm not sure what took them so long. But I do understand that it was a Friday where it was received, and it probably just took some time, I guess. Who knows how long, how their pharmacists work over the weekends or things like that. I don't know. But I just kept getting a message that there was a delay in their pharmacists conducting their clinical safety check. I got that on Saturday, got it again on Sunday. But then today, shortly before I started this video, they said it's Amazon Pharmacy and you can now order your Mounjaro. And yeah, so I went in and I did. And they gave me a link on my phone, but as I'm sitting at the computer, I just went to the computer, pulled up the pharmacy, and it was showing me the price of like 1,020, and then it said see the price with insurance, and then it said 30, and then I was wondering, because I'd already had my insurance card in there, but they also say that you can add coupon cards or coupons in there too. And so I went ahead and I put that in while I was waiting for them to do their review. And so that was in there, and I said, I wonder, how that's going to work. And so it was saying 30, and then when I went to I forget what page I navigated to. Maybe it was I was getting ready to go to checkout, and it was telling me that one of my insurances wasn't approved, and I'm like, okay. It had to be talking about the benefit card. Well, not the benefit card. The manufacturer's coupon, because it had already taken it down to $30, which is my copay. And so I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. But I still clicked on why, and they said it was, I think they gave me the reasons of being on basically government insurance or something about some other discount, not something not applying. I don't know, but I was just like, okay, whatever. It's 30, keep it moving, whatever. It would have been 25 had I been able to get it at CVS, but it's like it's delayed on back order. So that was a thing. I'm going to just segue for a second or sidetrack. With the CVS, what kind of pissed me off about them was I'm kind of wondering, is it truly on back order, or are you just gonna say it's on back order until it gets to the 18th, and then be like, okay, now we can order it. It was just very suspicious. It was like very suspicious, very suspicious. Okay, that was like, hey, we can't order it until the 18th, and then I say, hey, my insurance will approve it on 15. You put it in order, now it's delayed. It's like, to me, and I know it's an automated process where they sent out the text to say they received the prescription and all of that. But somewhere in there, it should be, since all of that is already so automated, should have known, up front. Been able to tell me up front, well, we got your prescription, but, you can't order until the 18th, but also there's a delay because we don't have the medication. But anyway, so I'm like, if I have to pay the 30, it's just gonna be that'll be fine. It'll be 30. And so but when I went ahead and I added the medication to my cart, and then when I navigated to the checkout, it was 25. So they did act, even though they told me they didn't, they actually did approve it. And actually, I think it said initially it was not approved yet. And one of the reasons why it might not be approved is because of, the government, da 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 da. So I was just like, well, if I order from them again, maybe next time it'll be the 25. But I wanted to go ahead and get my stock in hand. So I was like, I'll go ahead and I'll just eat the $5 this time, no biggie. But then, like I said, it ultimately worked out to where it was 25 anyway. And then here was the grand part. Then I ordered it, and it says this is the 16th. It says it should be here by the 17th. Okay. All right, well, y'all do your thing then. We're going to see how quickly it works. So then I guess my next thing will be a review of, how well Amazon Pharmacy does actually, how quickly they are able to get the medication to you and how well it's packaged and that type of a thing. But so far, so good. It was just, like I said, a little delay in them conducting their review, which again wasn't too big of a deal for me in and of itself, because I knew that my insurance wasn't going to approve it until the 15th anyway. So it kind of wasn't like a CVS deal where, yeah, I need you to go ahead and get it ordered and on the way so that I could pick it up by the 15th. I truly didn't need them to approve it until the 15th anyway, because then that's when the insurance was going to allow me to get it on the 15th. So yeah, so even if they had approved it on like Friday or anywhere from Friday to Sunday, I would have had to wait until yesterday to order it anyway. So no biggie, no biggie. And if it comes truly on tomorrow like it says, I'm still where I want to be, time frame wise, and where I will have my next 4 shots in hand before I even take the second shot of the 5.0 that I currently have. And yeah, so I'm just gonna, I'm happy to see where I have the progress I have made, and I'm excited to see now going forward what I'm gonna accomplish on this next basically 3 weeks of shots on the five. No, actually 7 weeks of the 5.0. And then I kind of think I want to stay here for a while, but at the same time, I know I don't want to titrate up too quickly, but I also don't want to titrate up too slowly. You know what I mean? Because if there does end up being a situation where, heaven forbid, there is, something that goes on with the insurance where they're not covering it for, X amount of time, and then I've not really had time to go up in dosage. And I know that because all the research or what have you that talk about how well people respond to the medication, they're really talking about at the very highest dose. And I definitely want to be in that number where you losing at least the 20% of your body weight. I need to lose more than that. But to be quite honest, I guess really more like 50%. But I mean, I probably could be happy with at least 30%. But I don't think people really lose it. I'm sure they do, because I'm seeing a lot of stories about people who have had so much success on the 2.5 and the 5. A lot of people never progress past that. But yeah, I'm thinking that I probably really would need to progress past that, but at the same time, I don't want to move too fast. I don't want to move too fast, but and I'm not in a hurry to race to get to a dose that may not be in stock. So, and like I said, with them telling me, oh, now this 5 is telling me that the 5 wasn't available. I'm like, hold up, now the 5 is supposed to be good right now. I'm not supposed to encounter these issues until I get ready to get to the 10. And I'm like, hopefully by the time I get to the 10, we'll be straight. So, yeah, so that's where I am right now. So, yeah. So let me get into this. Let me get into this Renfo app. And then I will be done, I think, with this update. And hopefully these updates will be a whole lot shorter from here on out. So, okay, so today, this morning, I weighed in, and I'm loving the Renfo scale. I don't necessarily know what all of these numbers mean, but I just like, I'm a numbers person. My background is accounting and finance, and I just love, you know, quantitative. I like that data, even though I might not know exactly, like I said, what everything means right now. All right, so I was at 344.2 this morning, and then all this data that it gives you is just amazing for me. So it's telling me right now my BMI is 61, which is clearly high. Everything is really high. I only have a couple of things that are in basically good range, and that's my fat-free body weight and my muscle mass. BMI is at 61, body fat is at 75%. Fat-free body weight is 86 pounds. Subcutaneous fat is 64.6. My visceral fat is 30, which I'm really ready to see that go down. My body water is only 17.2%. So whereas I'm only drinking water now, that has not budged, and you will see in a minute. And my skeletal muscle, again, not really sure what that all means, but that's 14.6. My bone mass is 5.2 pounds of bone mass. Protein is 5%. Again, and I struggle with getting in the protein. I do try to get at least half, though, of what they're saying I need every day. But right now it's 120 some grams. And that just seems like a lot of protein to be trying to take in. And my BMR, which I know that is the basal metabolic rate, um, which is just the amount of calories that your body just burns, just staying alive. That's currently 1,212 um, calories. kcal. My metabolic age is one thing that I truly hate out of all of these things, because I'm 52 and it is showing me at 57, so that's showing me as older. And again, those numbers in and of itself might not mean a lot to, a lot of people, but even just looking at that, even if you do know, it still kind of like maybe doesn't give you a great picture. So then you can drill down on it for details, and which tells me that the 344.2, anything is red is bad, of course. But so I'm in the obese range, and I would actually have to get down to about 169 to be considered just overweight. And I'll be quite honest with you, I think 180 is where I want to be. So I'm probably always gonna be considered obese. I'm only 5'3", but that's where I think I would be, okay. But again, I'll have to see when I get there. My body fat is still 75%. And I need to look at where I am historically, is since I've been taking my weight with this scale. But today it says 258.2 pounds. Subcutaneous fat is 64.6. Again, the standard would be somewhere around 26.7% is when I need to get that down to be good. And going back to the body fat for a second, I need to get that down to 32. So, like I said, quite a ways to go with everything. Visceral fat needs to get down to 15 to be still considered high. So, a lot of work, a lot of work. My body water is low. I need at least 45 to be normal. And I'm like, all I'm drinking is water now. How much more water I got to drink? So if any of you all know what you need to do to really increase your water and, to increase your water levels, let me know. Because I need to know. The skeletal muscle, 14.6. I'm low. It's 50.2 pounds. And I need to be somewhere at least 40%. So there's that. Bone mass, it's below average at 8. I need 8.6 pounds. So I need to get like, how do you improve bone mass? Like, how do you do that? But okay, so it consists of like bone matrix. They said collagen, fiber, ground substance, inorganic salt, etc. So I guess you can increase like your collagen. I don't know. We'll see if that actually ever improves. And my protein, also inadequate. Need to get up to at least 14%. It's only at 5. But the thing that concerns me, I guess, also, and you'll see here in a second, I've not met the standard. I should be burning at least, looks like, about 1,400 calories at my base rate. And then I've already said my metabolic age is off. I'm appearing older. I'm 52. Going back to the BMR for a second, though, and this is why I say that I'm not really sure how accurate some of these numbers are, because with my Fitbit, it tells me that I burn about 2,000 calories just breathing. But this is telling me it's 1212, so I don't know. But in any event, it still gives you basically a measurement of where you were, and what direction you're headed in. So we'll just use that for what it's worth. And then the fat-free body weight, that's good, and the muscle mass is good. Now, one thing I will say is I will look at one more thing before we wind down. My trend. The weight, of course, is trending down. When I first started weighing in on that scale, I was 351.6. And so since I've been weighing in on this scale, I have gone down 5.4 pounds. Is that right? Actually, it's more than that. Um, but the trend is over, I think, a week. And yeah, down 5.4 pounds in a week. But yeah, so my highest was 351.6, the lowest is 344.2. My BMI is going down. It's gone from 62.3 to 61, still high, but we're definitely doing good there. Body fat has remained the same, but I'm pretty sure that the amount, the number in pounds is decreasing, even though it's still at 75%. And that's another thing. When I weighed on my Fitbit scale, I think, again, really high still, but I think I was only like about 60 some percent when I was weighing in there. But this says 75. And my fat free body weight, it's going down, but it's still in the green range. So, again, that's something I have to look into and see, kind of what's up with that. And where I should be, or where I should be concerned when that gets too low. Subcutaneous fat has not changed, neither has visceral fat, body water, skeletal muscle. That's all remained the same, as well as, yeah, it's those have all remained the same. Now the muscle mass, that's going down. Again, I'm in a good range, but I am currently right now losing muscle mass. So we know ultimately that will not be good. But as far as what the scale is saying, I'm still in a good range. So I think I'm okay for now, but I am going to have to start really doing some strength building. And then, like I said, the bone mass, the protein has remained the same. But what concerns me is the BMR, how that's continually going down. And like I said, my metabolic age has stayed the same, but yeah, that BMR continually going down, it seems like. And I guess it makes sense. And I guess it kind of makes sense that the lower that I'm weighing, that, the less it takes to sustain you, I guess. But then again, it doesn't make any sense because my daughter is also on this scale. Now she's 19, and I think hers is showing where she burns about 1,400 calories or whatever at rest. So pretty sure it probably really doesn't have anything to do with weight. It probably just has to do with your, I guess, your metabolism, I guess. So anyway, still learning, still learning. So yeah, that is it for that. These updates have got to get shorter because nobody's going to continue to sit here and look at these videos for this freaking long. I mean, sometimes I do, but come on, let's get real. Got to start to rein it in. Get a little bit more structure. But anyway, that's it, you guys. If you do have any more questions or comments, don't hesitate to leave them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And as always, until the next video, you guys, I want to wish you peace and blessings. Bye.